This Mind Espresso is about manifesting your destiny. We've all heard manifest destiny, and it sounds like, a tagline, right? It sounds like, frankly, it sounds a little BS-y, right? But if you think about the science behind it, there's real truth here. And I'm going to start down here with this pill, the placebo effect. Again and again, the placebo effect has an impact in studies, right? We study a drug to see what the impact has, but it turns out just telling someone that the drug might have an outcome starts to create that outcome. Why? Well, it actually starts changing your brain chemistry. If you have a belief, your brain chemistry changes, your thinking changes, and ultimately your actions and your habits change, right? So if you believe an outcome is coming, you start to act in the way, and your brain chemistry changes to enable that in the way that you think that outcome will go. So the placebo effect is real. Manifesting your destiny has scientific backing behind it. Now I'm going to add in two other effects in here to round this out, and you can see how your own view really impacts the world. The Pygmalion effect is one of my favorite stories. It was a Greek story of mythology where a man fell in love with a statue and loved the statue so much that the statue came to life, right? He manifested the reality. He brought that statue to life. Turns out in study after study, this is true. And you've all seen it, right? When someone believes in you and they believe in you so much, they create a belief in you, then you start to, right? You start to run on the placebo effect, right? You take that belief and you start to make it a reality. So not only is the placebo effect really important as your personal belief system, but it's really important too as you interact with others and you think about those around you. Are you enabling the Pygmalion theory or the Golem theory? Now the Golem theory is the flip side of the Pygmalion theory. The Golem theory is all about people hitting low expectations. If you have low expectations for someone that you work with, or someone in your life, and you talk to them enough, you will create a placebo effect in them, a belief in them that that is what they are. And then their brain chemistry will change to make that a reality. Their thinking will change to make that a reality. Their habits will change to make that a reality. So if you add these up, the placebo effect, the Pygmalion effect, and the Golem effect, it's actually a lot of responsibility. You're not just managing yourself, you're managing those around you. And now I'm going to bring in a controversial topic from Dennis Prager, who wrote a book called Happiness is a Serious Problem. In it, he argued that it's your responsibility to be happy because of the impact it has on those around you. Now, tough because a lot of people are dealing with things, and how can you be happy when bad things are happening to you? But also the science shows that if we make our reality not about ourselves but about others, we can be happier. And so again, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, but the Golem effect, the Pygmalion effect would argue that we do have a certain amount of responsibility, not just to ourselves around our own beliefs, but about how those impact others in our lives. So now, if you want to go down this road, but you're stuck with some thinking, how do I get out of some of the negative thinking I might be caught in? Well, the Handel group identified three kind of major patterns. It's a coaching group that gets us caught in negative cycles. Number one is Chicken Little or fear thinking, right? We're expecting the worst, therefore we manifest the worst, and we bring out the worst in everyone around us, right? That's that Chicken Little thinking or fear thinking. Next, they identified the reporter thinking. The reporter tries to point out facts, but what they really do, because we have a negative bias, they start building stories and rationalizing all the reasons we can't do X, Y, or Z, and that becomes a belief. So our reporter gets in our head by pointing out things that look like fact and taking these facts and putting them together into a story. Suddenly, we think it's our reality. But it's not, right? It is one version of reality. You can take any situation and find 3 or 4 different realities that you can manifest. Now, the last one, and by the way, it's a great way to rationalize your way out of doing anything in life. The last one is the Peter Pan, or what they call the brat theory. But this is really the avoider, the one who doesn't believe they actually have responsibility to others or to confront things in life because they don't believe they can impact the outcome on those, right? And so if you've got this avoider or Peter Pan thinking, you got to flip it. How do you flip each of these? Well, if you think about Chicken Little, I always go from fear to faith. I love opposite energies. If you're really, angry about something, going, I'm just going to be calm doesn't really work, right? You got to flip anger to enthusiasm or something of the same energy level. So fear goes to faith. How would I act if I had absolute faith that this would work out? How would I think? What would I do? How do I operate out of faith? When you find yourself confronted with a fear mentality, think about the faith mentality. and embrace it to the extent that you can. If you're a reporter or a rationalizer, how would a good coach describe the situation? You could describe any situation, rationalize your way out of anything. But if someone really cared about you and saw the best in you, how would they describe the facts? How would they put together that story? Then finally, if you're in Peter Pan or avoider mode, you got to be a creator. You got to believe that you have a greater impact on your life than circumstances, right? And when you're a creator, you want some of the negativity, right? So that you can confront it, you can get by it, that you can move on and create greater things. So the big takeaway here for me in the works of Dennis Prager, Pygmalion theory, placebo effect, the Handel group, etc., is we have a profound effect on the way we think, our own brain chemistry, and the way we manifest belief in ourselves and the beliefs in others around us. And we can have an exponential impact simply by the way we approach life and what we want to manifest. We have to find the times that we are in these negative modes, right? Chicken Little reporter mode, Peter Pan mode, and turn to faith. Turn to good coaching, self-coaching and coaching of others, and believe that you are the creator of your own outcome. And that is this week's Mind Espresso.